What's old can be new again, especially when it comes to certain furniture pieces in your home, like chairs. Our next guest has built her business by upcycling and is helping people revamp their living spaces and give it new life. The chair stylist, Wendy Conklin, is here now to share just how she does it with her DIY magic. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Aubrey. Thank you for having me.
So I see you have a couple chairs behind you. So chairs is your thing. You're like the chair lady, the chair makeover expert, all of the above. What prompted you to work with chairs?
You know, I have always loved chairs, and I know that's kind of a strange thing to say or admit that, but there is something about them that has drawn me. They can become the art in a room. You put an amazing fabric on them, and they can really unexpectedly bring so much joy to your space, as well as, you're recycling something and you're giving it a new life. And there's just something about making things with your hands. And chairs are easy to do in that way.
Very cool. Well, the two chairs that we had behind you, you can see that they're pretty much the same chair, but what a difference from the one on the left to the one on the right. I mean, it's an amazing difference that, it's hard for me to believe it's the same chair is what I'm saying. But if you don't have a piece like this in your home that you're looking to upcycle, maybe you want to go find one at a flea market or garage sale or something like that. Is there certain things you should look for if you want to purchase a chair to give it your own spin?
Right. So, yes, I mean, you want to look for, is it sturdy? If there's something that is like a severed leg on it, you may want to bypass something like that. And maybe something with like a curved back is a little bit harder to start with because there's a lot of detailed cuts and things that you have to do. But when you have just like a dining chair like this, these are relatively easy to flip and to make new again. So if there's any wobbly, toward the back of the seat, back here, or if there's a top piece that's a little wobbly, all of that can be fixed. So that's not something to worry about. Just worry about if there's like a severed leg or if it's a curved back. I would probably bypass both of those, but anything else is like totally fair game.
Okay, awesome. So Wendy, since you are the chair stylist, we want to tap into some of your expertise. Can you walk us through how to DIY one of these chairs?
Yeah, so well, you have to begin with the stripping process, and taking everything off of them. So just like you're seeing me do here, that's in my studio. And so I am stripping it down. I've given it a new paint job. And the paint is always driven by the fabric that you choose. So you want to choose the fabric first, then decide on the paint, and then you just kind of begin to build back. So I started with burlap, then went on the foam, and then what we call Dacron, which is that white part. And here I'm putting on the fabric. And fabric placement is key to getting the best look on these chairs. You have to play around a bit. Yeah, and you have to try out different things until you decide on, oh, this is going to give me the best look. And so here I'm doing the back of it again with kind of the same materials, and I'm about to put on the fabric, and I'm playing around with it. You can see I'm moving it around, saying, ooh, what's going to look best? And then I staple it into place and trim it up. So, you're going to see me working on the seat here, and you start with webbing, and that's your base. And that kind of holds everything up on the seat. And then you go to the burlap, which gets stapled on next. And I'm cutting the foam to make sure that it works. And from then on, you see me build up with like the cotton, the foam, the Dacron, and then the fabric. And then this is the finished product. So I had a set of 4. And so you can see I left the way it was so you can see it. And just revamped this one. And it's really all about the fabric placement. Like you want some chartreuse peeking in here, and you want some flowers down and something coming down over the seat. It just makes it more artistic. And honestly, when you play around with this kind of stuff, it's so much fun because you see what you can actually create yourself. So it's just super great. So yes,
I am so intrigued, Wendy. You make it look so easy, and what a difference those pops of color make. I mean, very modern, and I mean, they're one of a kind because like you said, you're placing the fabric, and so you're not necessarily going to have two that are exactly the same. But what if you're not a seamstress? What if you're not that crafty with the tools and et cetera? Can you still do this?
absolutely. So doing upholstery is just a series of steps. You do this first, this first, this first, and you need the right tools, which are really not that expensive. The most expensive thing is like having a compressor and a staple gun. All the other little tools are like $20 or less. And you don't have to sew in order to do upholstery like I'm doing. The only thing that I sewed on here was the trim, the double welt cord trim. But we could use other kinds of trim to hide the staples, and that's all trim is there for, is just to hide all the bad parts, that we're stapling in. So you do not have to sew in order to do a chair like this. But it's just a series of steps, and everyone thinks it's so hard, but it's really, really not.
So how long from start to finish does it take you to do one of these DIY revamped chairs? And I mean, what would you say to someone who wants to give it a try, but they're like, I don't know if it can look as good as Wendy's?
Yeah, you definitely can. And, it just takes practice in doing it. But, it takes me about a full day. If I'm going to strip a chair, paint the chair, and then put the upholstery on, it takes about a day to do it for me. I mean, I've gotten faster over the years because I've been doing it a while, but it really does not take that long to do a chair like this. But if you have a chair that just only has the seat upholstered, that's even faster because you only have to worry about the bottom part of it.
Yeah, I'll start with one of those, Wendy. I love this idea. I'm very intrigued, maybe a little inspired. We'll see. Appreciate you sharing this on our show today. And if you want more from Wendy and some of her whimsy DIY styling, you can check her out on Instagram at Chair Whimsy.